we all need to ensure that we follow the 5 golden rules. And I just want to take this opportunity to inform the populace that under my office or through my office, we will be going market to market, stations, bus stations to bus stations, to sensitize about COVID-19. As we all know, we are headed towards the rain season. We started a campaign for keeping our city clean. Last week we were in North Mid, and next week we are going to be in Matero. So I invite all the media and all the people interested to help us sensitize about COVID-19 and also keeping Lusaka clean. I thank you all for coming. I thank you, the organizers of the event, for having chosen Lusaka as the host and Civic Center as the venue. I wish you all an educative and pleasant day. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our host here, the Deputy Mayor of the City of Lusaka, for those welcoming remarks. Let's give another big hand of our gratitude, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I noticed evidently at the time that our dancing troupe was visiting the guest of honor and the deputy mayor here, that indeed there was a sense of fear and submission, because thank you, ma'am. Guest of honor, our program now provides that we go to an interactive segment that shall be led by one of our key people in this festival. But before we do that, just wanted to make a quick recognition of some organizations partnering in this activity and also carrying out exhibitions. There is the Zambia Alliance for Agroecology and Biodiversity. We have Caritas Zambia, we have Action Aid, we have Mizu Eco Care, we have Kasisi Agricultural Training Center, we have Pedam Zambia, we have FIAN International Zambia, we have ZCCN, Sustainable Innovations Africa, SCOP Zambia, and Rural Women's Assembly. These are some, but I believe not all of the organizations, groupings, agro-institutions, and entities, as well as exhibitors who are here housed in this festival. I'm sure with the next segment, we're yet to learn more on the happenings of this festival event. Mr. Wesley. Ah, excellent. That's what they say, he's on hand. It means it. All right, so I know my big man here will elaborate what happens next, but it is a special segment, as many of us have had this shared program, which says for farmer panel discussions on seed systems and organic farming. So Wesley will lead us as he brings in more conversations and information on the same. Tuwacho Telecom Kwai.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Master Chimbala. And may I also congratulate our Deputy Mayor, first of all, on your election to the office of Deputy Mayor. And I extend the same to Madam Chitangala on her election, and of course, success in the petition. We are very, very happy to have you, and also want to recognize all the invited, important guests that are here. Okay. So before we go into our session, where we'll have discussions and presentations by different people drawn from different organizations, I'd like to invite the Deputy Mayor to call on the guest of honor to be able to make their presentation, after which we will go straight into our discussions. I now have the singular honor of also handing over the microphone to the Deputy Mayor. Over to you.
Feel free, sir. This is your home.
Thank you. Make sure that the media is set.
Yes. Your Worship, the Deputy Mayor, thank you very much for calling upon me to make my opening remarks. But before I proceed with my opening remarks, I want to make some off-the-cuff remarks. Number one will be the Master of Ceremonies gave me a very big title of being chairman of the African Commission. No, I haven't yet reached that far. I am just a commissioner on the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, in addition to being the chairperson of the Zambia Human Rights Commission. The other one is that if I hadn't been invited to this festival, I can rest assure you that I wasn't going to know that this festival is taking place. What I'm basically saying is that I think there is a little bit of a problem in terms of publicity, because I think this is a very important festival which today I think should have attracted quite a lot of people if there was some publicity. Having said that, the Deputy Mayor, the Acting District Commissioner Rufonyama, Mrs. Ruth Sanga Kabwe, the Town Clerk, Mr. Alex Mwansa, government officials, heads of civil societies, farmers, the organizing committee, members of the media, members of the public, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to begin by thanking the Civil Society Organization Festival organizing team for extending the invitation to me to come and officiate at this 4th Zambia Traditional Seed and Food Festival, which I believe coincides with the World Food Day, which also falls today, the 16th October 2021. Be rest assured, I take this invitation to be a great honor and privilege. As we gather here today, we also join the global community in commemorating the World Food Day, whose theme is Safe Food Now for a Healthier Tomorrow. I gather that this theme stresses on the various immediate and long-term benefits of consuming safe food and healthy foods. Every year, the global community comes together to reflect and celebrate food at household, community, national, regional, and global levels. This day has been set aside by the United Nations as a day of action against hunger, poverty worldwide. As we gather today, we are also participating in the 4th Zambia Traditional Seed and Food Festival. The theme for this festival is sustaining traditional food systems for nutrition in a COVID-19 world. The focus of the festival is on traditional seeds and foods. To this end, the objectives of the festival are threefold. 1, celebrate farmers' knowledge and raise public awareness about the contribution that traditional seed and foods and their management systems make towards community cohesion, national food and nutrition security, and long-term public health and well-being, particularly in the light of the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic. Number 2, to raise public awareness about sustainable production, marketing, and consumption through the lens of agroecology and its central role in shaping Zambia's development capacity, attainment of the aligned SDGs, as well as climate change adaptation and mitigation strategies. Lastly but not the least, to draw attention to critical and timely Zambian policy and legislative frameworks that influence the transition to a sustainable food system. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here celebrating the 4th National Traditional Seed and Food Festival at a time when traditional seed and food is at crossroads. Traditional seeds and food are being relegated to the backstage in preference for hybrid seeds and modern foods. But worse still, the diets of many Zambians is limited and so narrow, concentrating on few vegetable crops and grains. This is notwithstanding the fact that we have over 3,000 indigenous local foods and medicinal plants in Zambia, which have contributed to the huge biodiversity pool. These local foods and medicinal plants are by far nutritious than most of the preferred foods. It is my firm hope that this festival will help rekindle the interest of Zambians in the traditional seed and food. Ladies and gentlemen, This festival is about the right to food and nutrition. The right to food and nutrition is among the human rights and fundamental freedoms that have been universally recognized over the decades. The right to food and nutrition is generally an inclusive right and is cross-cutting. It is simply not a right to maintain a minimum ration of calories, proteins, and other specific nutrients. It is a right to all nutritional elements that a person needs to live a healthy and active life. And of course, the means to access those foods. The major elements of the right to food are that food must be available, accessible, and adequate. In Zambia, the Constitution does not provide for the right to food and nutrition in the Bill of Rights. Our current Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, if they wish to learn, is only concerned about civil and political rights. It is our hope as the Zambia Human Rights Commission that sooner than later the Constitution shall be amended to include economic, social, and cultural rights, which will include the right to food and nutrition, so that it will be legally possible for people to even push for the promotion of traditional foods and seeds. In this regard, as the Zambia Human Rights Commission, we shall continue lobbying for the amendment of the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, to which Zambia is a party, is a set of rules called articles, guaranteeing certain human rights and fundamental freedoms for individuals. It also guarantees certain rights of the entire peoples of Africa. The African Commission on Human and People's Rights is a creation of the African Charter, inter alia charged with the promotion and protection of the human and people's rights that are guaranteed under the Charter. Though the African Charter does not expressly provide for the right to food, kindly note that the African Charter nonetheless accommodates some of the elements of the right to food and nutrition and to freedom from hunger and malnutrition. The Commission, which is the African Commission, has interpreted the right to food as an inherent in the rights to life, the rights to health, and the rights to economic, social, and cultural development under the Charter. And that this right is realized when everyone, alone or in community with others, has physical and economic access at all times to adequate food or the means of its procurement, and free from hunger even in times of natural disasters and other pandemics like COVID-19. Further, ladies and gentlemen, the protocol to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Women in Africa 2003, which is popularly known as the Maputo Protocol, guarantees the right to food security. The African Commission itself has also had occasion to pass Resolution 374 of 2017 on the right to food and insecurity in Africa, and Resolution 431 of 2019 on the right to food and nutrition in Africa. You may wish, with regards to Resolution 431, of 2019 to note that the African Commission has called on state parties to the Charter to, among others, one, promote and strengthen multi-sectoral and gender-inclusive platforms at national level with the full and meaningful participation of small-scale food producers, farmers, livestock farmers, and fishermen to develop and monitor policies towards the realization of the right to food and nutrition. This will interest the gathering here. Two, which is to foster local and organic food production, which is what I'm sure you're here, and consumption, including by banning the use of genetically modified organisms. And lastly, but not the least, to strictly regulate the importation of foreign foods, as well as the promotion and marketing of industrialized and highly processed foods. So, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that the African Commission is also interested in ensuring that in Africa we give prominence to traditional foods and seeds. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've already said, you agree with me that indeed the African Commission is concerned, as you are, with the right to food and nutrition, and particularly with respect to traditional foods and seeds. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare this festival officially open. May the good Lord be with us through and through up to the end of this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guest of honor, for that wonderful speech. And I guess for people that are here, we've been wondering, or you could have been wondering, because normally you expect someone from the Ministry of Agriculture to come and talk about food. This time around, we want people to understand that food is a human rights issue. You have a right to food, and unfortunately, like the guest of honor has indicated, our constitution does not recognize that, but recognizes that you have a right to go and assemble. Assemble when you're hungry. What will you be discussing? So we are happy that, Commissioner, you have really talked about this matter. And as civil society, working with all the partners, that should become our agenda going forward, to make sure that it becomes a constitutional issue. Like everyone has been saying, constitution. Thank you so very much. To all people that are here, to all people that are here, we will proceed with our program. Tizapitiliza ndondomeko yatu. Pali Nontawi, we will have some panel remarks coming from different organizations that are here. We'll have representation from Food and Nutrition Commission, from the Ministry of Agriculture, from the Knowledge Hub Southern Africa. We'll have a farmer representative, and finally, we'll have a presentation from National Union of Small-Scale Farmers Associations of Zambia, NOSFAS, after which we'll hand over to Master to continue. So at this time, I would like to invite the representative from the Food and Nutrition Commission to come and give their panel remarks. Well, if they are not here, we will proceed and ask the representative from the Ministry of Agriculture. well, or I was almost saying, well, they're not here. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you very much. I'm standing in for the director from Seed Control and Certification Institute. Seed Control and Certification Institute is an institute under the Ministry of Agriculture, which is responsible in controlling seed affairs in Zambia. Seed Control and Certification Institute, we are operating with two seed systems, two seed sectors. That's the informal seed sector and the formal seed sector. So at this point, I think I'll just be here to talk about the informal seed sector. And before I proceed, I would like to let everyone know that as the Seed Control and Certification Institute, we are happy and delighted to have such events in the country. They actually promote food security in the country. And for that, the informal seed sector, I would like to let everyone know that this sector, it constitutes the small-scale farmers mostly, and the small-scale farmers, they make 80% of our farming community in Zambia, and that means that those 80% are the people that are feeding the nation. They are the people that are feeding us, and as SCCI, we are glad and we are happy to have that 80% in this seed sector. And so seed is a very important component in agriculture, because without seed you can't go anywhere. Even food is all about seed. It starts from the seed. It's like it's the genesis of everything. And as SCCI, we are supporting every event and anything that has to do with seed. Looking at the theme of this gathering, I'm glad that we are talking about sustainability in the agriculture sector. We are talking about sustainability in the nutrition sector. We are talking about sustainability in everything that we do in regard to climate change. Our climate is changing. We have to cope up with the uncertainties, and for that matter, it means that we need to support our small-scale farmers who are dealing in indigenous seeds. As seed specialists, we understand that indigenous seed is actually very resilient. It's very resilient to these climate uncertainties, the stress and the shocks of this climate. Most of our traditional seeds, especially the sorghums, the millets, they are very resilient. Some of them are drought resistant, some of them are heat resistant, and as SCCI, we are glad that we have small scale farmers that are growing that kind of seed. I want to thank all the organizers of this event. I want to thank those that are promoting, working with the small scale farmers to promote the production of organic seed, to promote the production of this indigenous seed. It means that we are heading in the right direction if we have traditional seeds, if we have seed that can be sustainable in these uncertain times. It means that as a nation, we are securing ourselves in regard with food. Because as the previous speaker has spoken, that we can't speak out, we can't stand in queues, we can't gather if we have not yet eaten. So as SCCI, through my director, I want to congratulate the organizers of this event. We are happy as SCCI, and will continue supporting every event that promotes seed and indigenous seed. Maybe just to our small scale farmers, to let you know that as SCCI, we have a unit under the department. This unit is under inspectorate. It deals with the training farmers in seed production. And as such, that's a great opportunity for our small-scale farmers to form groups, to form farmer groups so as to register to be trained under this training unit, where you will be given certification of production of seed. The class of seed that will be producing, it will be called quality declared seed. That seed, you'll be able to sell it from farmer to farmer, and you also just amongst yourself. And in that, it will mean that we are promoting farmer income. And if we have a farmer who has money and have food, it means that we have a nation that is growing and will be sustainable in terms of food production. So I'm inviting our farmers to form those groups to start seed production of indigenous seed. We'll be glad to assist you. We'll be glad to train you in seed production. We'll give you the knowledge. We'll give you the insights, anything that you need for producing this seed. So our farmers, you are welcome to SCCI. You are welcome for any information that you need on seed production. We are in the driver's seat where seed is concerned. I'm glad that the Community Development Trust is also building up seed banks. I'm very happy because it means that whatever germplasma that has been eroding, it means that it's being captured, and we are putting our seed back in the field, because we've been losing germplasma. We've been losing these seeds through maybe carelessness or whatever means, but we've been losing it. But with these coming seed banks, I'm happy that these seed banks will help us preserve and conserve our seed. So, which means that our small-scale farmers, they will be able to access seed through these seed banks and through the National Gene Bank. I'm glad my colleagues are here representing the Zambia Agricultural Research Institute, where they are dealing with these indigenous seeds and they are preserving them in their gene banks. And our farmers, you are also welcome to go to such banks, such germplasm banks, to go and access these indigenous seeds. So just in a nutshell, SCCI is glad. Thank you to the organizers. We are glad that such an event has taken place. We are glad that traditional seeds it's being promoted, because it's so it's resilient. It is high yielding. It yields well. With regards to if you have a drought, it means that if you had planted these indigenous seeds, for example, sorghum or millet, at least you are assured of a harvest. And just a hint, I'm glad that FAO, the Food Agriculture Organization, is also promoting farmers' rights in terms of sharing germplasma amongst the farmers. It's giving that right to the farmers to share germplasma amongst themselves. And as SCCI, we are also promoting that. We are glad that they are doing that, and we are in support. Thank you very much.
Please, let's give a very big clap. Thank you, Ma'am. You have delivered what we've been fighting for. We are tired of people considering farmer-owned seeds as grains. So we have an inspectorate now that recognizes it as seed, and I think that gives us impetus to multiply more and make sure that Zambians go back to eating their original food. I think that's good news from our seed certification institute. So, Madam, we are so grateful, and we hope to come to open doors when we come knocking there. At this time, I would like to invite the representative from the Knowledge Hub Southern Africa to give his remarks. This is a project that is promoting organic food production. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Mketoi Wamnyima to come and give us his panel remarks. Mketoi. You can also clap before he talks.
Good morning, everyone. Our guest of honor, the Deputy Mayor of Lusaka, Deputy Commissioner DC for Wanyama, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As introduced, my name is Oketoi Wamnyima. I'm wearing a few hats today. I'm also the country coordinator for Pelam Zambia, one of the organizing CSOs here. I'm also a project manager of the project that I'm going to briefly share with you, which is the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Southern Africa. First of all, I just want to say that, Your Honor, this festival is, I think, more of a deliberate thing for the city of Lusaka as well. You may wish to know that food can be a good tourist attraction, and it would be great for Lusaka to have a lot of these traditional food set up so that we have a lot of people coming into the city that they can actually taste our traditional foods. We have a lot of restaurants which are selling cuisines that are not ours, but I think if we had a deliberate plan to have traditional foods restaurants set up in the country, I think that would also be one of the tourist attractions that the city can have. So I think it's a challenge that I want to throw to the city to see how this can be done. Yeah. So, like I said, we are having a project on organic agriculture. The main objectives of this project are, one, to collect knowledge on organic agriculture. Secondly, is to disseminate this knowledge, which is locally adapted to the community and farmers. And thirdly, to create linkages in marketing on organic products. And fourthly, is to increase the coordination between the stakeholders in the organic sector. And this festival is a platform that is actually aiming to do all those four objectives, that is of sharing knowledge, linking markets with the farmers, and also increasing the coordination between the different stakeholders that are in the organic sector. As mentioned, we have a theme for this year under the Food and Seed Festival, which is sustaining traditional food systems for nutrition in this COVID-19. The theme for the World Food Day as well, our actions are our future. Better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. As you can see from all these themes, there is a common goal of all these things, and that is to see a future where we have a sustainable agriculture, where we have food security and nutrition security. So it's important for us to have such festivals and common themes that are actually, going towards a similar goal. Our farmers, Your Honor, I should say, have a big contribution to do in this regard. We talk of organic farming. This is something that our farmers have been doing for a long time. It's not a new practice to them. It's something that they've been doing, and I think it's important that we help them to enhance this production and continue on a path that we are all looking to, and that is having a sustainable agriculture system. The Food Festival, as mentioned, has been going on for the fourth year, and it's actually gaining momentum. We should also, take a lead from the guest of honor who mentioned that we need more publicity. I think that is very critical. It is a very important festival, not only for us CSOs, but I think for the nation as well, to recognize that the seed and traditional seed and food plays a critical role, not only in the farmers' livelihoods, but also for us to have a healthy country. So we need to enhance this production of farming. I also want to mention just a few important aspects of organic agriculture and what it all means. So organic agriculture has 4 principles, and one of them is health, the second is ecology, the third is fairness, and the fourth is care. I think we all can't dispute the fact that organic food is healthy for us. And when we talk about ecology, we are basically talking about the ecosystem and the biodiversity which we need to preserve. If we lose this biodiversity, I think we are not doing justice to the environment. And in terms of fairness and justice, which I think has been alluded to by the Commissioner for Human Rights, we think the food system should be fair so that farmers, processors, and everyone involved in the value chain gets their fair share of the benefits of organic agriculture. The fourth is care. Organic agriculture supports precautionary principles in all its management decision to protect the environment and the health of the people. So some of these that I've alluded to are the important aspects of organic agriculture. And I think we need to promote organic agriculture, not only for us, but for the environment and our future generation. So I won't take much of the remarks, and just to say that we welcome the farmers and who are playing quite a big role in our farming, especially the farmers who are the custodians of the seeds in our villages, and we need to promote and support their work. So thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good day today. Thank you.
Thanks, Mketoi. We just have one request. This big tent, there's a bit of disturbances. We'll have time to go around, so I want to ask every one of us that are in this big tent to quickly move out and come to the main arena. Please, 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 our people exhibiting, stop attending to people for a short while. Tikupempani mu choke pangono izafika ntao yo tandala pa mastand. Familo mbano wantu atuzwe mu tente chilasiga jindi jagunjira mu gatomo. Twamilomba mukwai na tusele twise panse yalafike nshita iya kutandala mukati. Twalomba mu bafyashi besu. Twalomba kuti mwaisa ko panse panono kwe bati twingala konkana bwino lwa mikupa amuzwe mutae fande ikafikitana ko yakubona amutae fande. Please come, please come. It's part of human rights to request people. Aye, twamilomba mkwai, please come outside. If it were those days, we would have been hearing, use a bit of minimum force. Thank you. Oh, Zambians are so good. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. This is just to allow us that when we start inviting our invited guests, we have enough room to maneuver with every one of us. So thank you so much. There's a lot to see, and we have a bit of more time to do that. Thanks, Mketoi, for reminding us on the principles of organic farming. And I think as a country, we are not ashamed to say that's the direction we need to take. We need to reclaim our soils, we need to claim our environment, and we need to ensure that people eat clean and good food. Imagine this food that we all rush for in these big markets, being driven 4,000 kilometers. How much carbon footprint are we talking about? So we need to do our own food. So thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite the farmer representative who's supposed to speak. The farmer representative who's supposed to speak to kindly come through. Or you want to stand there? It would be good to stand here so that the other guests are able to see.
The Zambia Tradition of Seed and Food Festival, and people continue to give their speeches. We would just turn our attention to one of the farmers here who is showcasing at this particular event, and I just hand over the mic to him just at this moment.
My name's Lavette Moranzi. I come from or live in Chongwe district as a farmer under Kasisi Agriculture Training College. Also as a member of SKY, that is Seed and Knowledge Initiative, a member of ZAB. Welcome to the Zambia National Traditional Seed and Food Festival. To move forward with this work, I would need to say many things and many points that I'm going to mention here. Your Honor, the Deputy Mayor, the District Commissioner of Wanyama, the Human Rights Commission, and all members of the media and my fellow farmers. My message to the government, number one point that I'll talk about is, one, to recognize farmers' seeds. To recognize farmers' seeds, because farmers love them and their diversity. That is the reason we need to recognize farmers' seeds. Point number two, we need also to involve farmers in review of seed and related policies. That is because they are the key stakeholders, as said earlier by other speakers. They are supposed to be involved in that from the 80% of the Zambian population in agriculture. Point number three, we need also to have the support from the mass of production of the organic fertilizers so that they are available in agro shops across the country, as you can see that we are boasting about. Point number four, we need also the government to support the creation and development of markets for the organically produced food so that farmers get the value from it, like it is done in other developed countries. That is our request to the government this morning. Point number five, we need also the government to include indigenous seeds, that is foods and agroecology, in the school curriculum, because it is not there, it does not enshrine in the school curriculum. That is, we need it to start from the primary schools to ensure that knowledge is passed on from one generation to the next generation. Point number six, we need also the government to transform the FISIP program to make sure more responsive to farmers' needs, or maybe incorporated on agroecology farming practices. We need also to adopt the strategies that will work for the farmer, because in its current form, FISIP has failed to achieve its objectives since its inception. The other point is that we need also the government to create support and social local seed banks, as I said earlier, at all levels. Another point is that we need also the government to involve health personnel and healthy researchers on food debates, so that many cancer cases in Zambia and the health fraternity, health researchers are just quiet, not saying anything on this issue. So we know Africa is a dumping ground, as we are looking at it, for chemicals rejected in other Western countries. Of course, even these things are now causing diseases in Africa, especially in our country, Zambia. So we need to hear the voices of the health experts explaining and standing to stand for the people of Zambia, because their health are not okay in Zambia. Then point number 9, we need also the government to promote agroforests. Trees that are being cut at an alarming rate and not being replaced. We find that these involve the youth in tree planting and also in regeneration, because they still have time to reap the fruits and will therefore be interested in this activity. To the CSOs and other stakeholders, the message to them is that, number 1, we need also to invest, they need also to invest in research on why SHF have been stagnant, or maybe why has it been stagnant. Document and purpose solutions, how FISIP can work for SHF. These are smallholder farmers that I'm talking about, for example. Point number 2, to the CSOs, they need also to promote and facilitate trainings in value addition. Point number 3, they need also to escalate what you are already doing presently. Mushroom production in particular should be promoted if it is as a simple to very simple to produce, and also as lucrative as purported by one cooperative in the meeting that we had previously. Point number 4, we need also the SCOs to support radio and other outreach programs in order to get as many farmers as possible to practice agroecology Zambia all over. Currently, only a fraction of smallholder farmers have adopted some of these agroecology practices because the information is not reaching them, and also the principles are not reaching them nicely. Point number 5, we want also the SCOs to facilitate the formation and registration of an organic or maybe agroecological farming union as association for farmers, which can be recognized just like ZNFU is recognized in Zambia. Point number 6, we need also the SCOs to promote crops that are suitable to each region. Not all regions are suitable for maize production, that much we know. We need also to focus on each region's comparative advantage. Then trade can place between regions to ensure food and nutrition security. Point number 5 for the CSOs, translate the seed policy and other related policies into all Zambian languages to help the farmer understand the implications on them. They need to understand this if this thing is put or maybe translated in local languages. We know that there are many languages in Zambia, 72 of them, but you can at least take about 8 to 10 languages that can make our Zambian people understand. Point number 8 to the CSOs. You need to translate the agroecology definitions, especially the principles and the practices, into all the Zambian languages, as said earlier, to help spread the word as to smallholder farmers need, because they need this message. Last point for the CSOs is for them to be our watchdogs, help monitor policy review and implementation, since farmers do not easily get information. Farmers are ready to support advocacy actions when they are mobilized. So we as farmers, we are committed to the following things. We are committed to, number 1, to practice what they are taught. It is very easy for the farmers because they adopt and they get the information, they take it into practice. So many trainings and workshops have been conducted, but adoption rate is very low, as we have observed. Point number 2, we as farmers, we need also to involve youths. That is, there is much wealth in knowledge sitting with older people, or maybe the other older generation, that the youths can learn from in order to develop interest in local seeds and also the varieties. Because we have seen that there is much gap or maybe difference between the youth and the farmer. We find that also the youth are not coming closer to the older people, because if they are not doing that, how can they get more knowledge? Because knowledge comes from the old people, then it translates into the young generation. So we need the youth to work together with the farmers. Lastly but not the least, point number 3, farmers talk about the government not doing their part, but we need to demonstrate to the government that we know what we are talking about for them to listen. Farmers know what they are talking about. So let's show them, we as farmers, we show them that it's possible to grow local seed. The benefits of local seeds and agroecology. We have that in mind. So this is possible if we adopt these practices. Then the last thing, we as farmers, it is my message also to say, we do not shun from this traditional seed. Let's keep it. Thank you very much.
Well, we're grateful. Just to remind people, people around you.
Right, so that's Mr. Lavette there, one of the farmers who is showcasing the indigenous food stuffs as this year's commemoration of the Zambia Seed and Food Festival, which is being held right here at the Civic Center grounds. I will now have an opportunity to talk to some of the farmers that are showcasing the foodstuffs, and just behind me, what you can see right at this very moment are some of the people that have actually come here to showcase their foodstuffs. This is the time now for us to just go into the tent right at this moment, and we will first have an interview with the chairperson of this year's festival, Juliet Nangamba, who is just going to shed more light on this particular event. And she is just besides me here. Good afternoon, welcome to News on the Go.
Thank you, good afternoon. How are you today?
Okay, I understand that this is not the first time that you are having this festival. We did cover you last year. Has it been a success according to what you have seen? Also, maybe you can shed more light on this festival.
Yes, I think the festival has been a success. Not I think it is a success because we have more farmers. I think farmers have done their homework in their areas where we're coming from. We're seeing a lot of diversity now. I'm sure that's a diversity. They're also diversity of seed. That's a diversity they're also growing in their fields. Because if they are not growing it, then we won't be seeing it here. So we are succeeding having the event, and we're succeeding spreading the messages across the districts, because we're able now to also monitor the kind of diversity that is coming from different provinces, different districts across Zambia. I think this year we've had participation of other institutions. We have more institutions participating now, so that's a key success. So we're pushing the messages going out there now.
Okay, would you tell us how many farmers are showcasing their food, items here at the festival?
So we have 50 farmers participating and exhibiting both food and seed, and also organic products. And we have also other independent organizations, individuals that are also displaying value-added products, organic honey, organic juices made from wild fruits. So you see a lot of things when you go around the stands. Yeah.
All right, and also would like to find out from you, why did you decide to come up, with this particular initiative of having a festival where farmers come together to showcase their food stuff?
Thank you.
Yes, we needed a platform where farmers would celebrate the work that they're doing, because generations back and generations to come, farmers keep working around seeds and food systems, but they're not provided a space to showcase and celebrate. And today is World Food Day, by the way. So we need to celebrate the food that we have, but the indigenous food that we have in Zambia. But also it is to address the policy issues that hinder farmers to take part in the seed value chain, because most of the seed that you see here cannot be qualified as seed because of the way the policy defines seed. So this is the message that we want to take out to the policy makers, the message that we want to take out to the government and say, this is what feeds people, this is what adds to nutrition, this is what makes people healthy. And if we continue ignoring it, we are going to continuously have people that are sleeping hungry. Why should children and women go to bed hungry when we've got a variety of food in Zambia? Why should people continuously wait for seed to be bought or to be gotten from PCP when they can just prepare it by themselves and plant that seed and have food in their house and feed children, feed the women, feed people that are sick? And if you speak to the farmers, they tell you that this is very medicinal. It is medicinal, because if you eat diversity food, if you eat a diverse of food, you are acquiring different nutrients from different foods. But if you are going to eat shima throughout yourself, and the way I'm seeing you now,
what have you seen?
Malnutrition is not only defined as being very thin. Even the people that are very, fat,
people that have
like you, the way you're looking now, we need to admit you.
I'm sure that's also the message to the consumers
that we are sending. We need to eat healthy. We need to promote local markets, and we need to buy local. this will actually help in growing the economy. There's no need that you should go and buy seed from somewhere and take the money outside. We want the money to stay in Zambia. So we want to address the policy issues, we want to address the human rights issues, access to food, and we want to see policy, because we want to see in the constitution articles that address food, because food is not a privilege. Food is a human right. Just like you have the right to life, you also have the right to nutritious, healthy food, and this is only in the local food system.
Well, thank you so much for having an interview with us. Or maybe you can have your last remarks to the farmers and also the people that are watching us live right now.
So for everyone that is watching us live, thank you for joining us. We are still at Nakatindi grounds the whole day up to 16. Please come and sample the traditional indigenous food seeds and come and learn about the seeds that we have. Bring your children. We speak about culture, and the seed is one thing that carries the culture of us, the nation. Bring your children, let them learn about these seeds. Some of us, our grandparents, never grew up eating maize. They ate, sorghum, they ate millet. But our children don't know that. Let's talk about the policies. Interact, come so that we interact, to talk about the policies. And for the policymakers, please, this is a serious issue. We need to deal. If you look at the malnutrition levels in Zambia, they are still very high, especially when you start going up north. You have stunting of about 35%, even 12% underweight or wasting. Wasting, I think, is about below 10. But if we're still having those figures, even if you say that we're having a bumper harvest, every year we grow maize, then we still have a problem because we still have malnutrition, and we will only address this malnutrition if we concentrate on producing a diversity food. Crop diversification should not only mean 5 crops. We have a lot of resource in seed, a lot of resource in crop. Let us harness that, let us utilize that. And thank you. Please come and enjoy the festival with us.
Thank you so much, Juliet. And we will also have an opportunity to talk to the farmers. But I know right now that the director, that is Caritas director, Mr. Eugene Kawilika, will also have an interview with us, because I do understand that they are actually the main sponsors. But while we are still in
the sponsorship is there are a consortium of organizations that have sponsored this event, and Caritas is part of them. Community Technology Development Trust, the organization where I come from, is part of them. Pelam, Zab, Mizu, Zimsof, ZCCN, to name just a few offhand. Yes.
Right. Let me also now talk to the farmers who are showcasing, the food stuff just here at Nakatindi grounds. And Joyce Saili is one of the farmers who has actually come here to showcase the indigenous Zambian food. Mulibwanji ba Joyce.
Bwino bwanji.
Bwino. Mungatuzeko vakudya vamene muli navo apa pa stand yanu.
Vakudya vamene tinavo vakudya vambiri, kuli unga wa sorghum, kuli unga wa pear millet, kuli unga wa orange maize, kuli unga wa chamaloa, elo busika, delel.
Ni derere dry. Ni derere dry.
Vonse tilinavo, elo kubwela ku milisi na shaba zonse tilinazo. Elo pansa hapa pali milisi. Munaionapo milisi yaso imwe pamene munapa.
Inaiona lelo ishi.
Inaiona lelo timali.
Manje iyi milisi yaso nikudya bwanji.
Iyi milisi mukaipika, mukaitongola so kachoka kakamba.
Paitana tibwa. Milisi chabeso chabolo baitana.
Iyi milisi zina yakaena bamaitana ati ka jacket. Kailina ka jacket pakata. Ilina cover ija milisi yonse ero kwapela nayi. So iyi oromukaika munkokwe singene watujyo maninga. Imilisi ni yaloko.
Wino wao imilisi isi anako bwanji na milisi zinanguza mileti mashaka.
Ile mama ningi mukaipeleko rokuchigayo unga ulibu ino maningi. Ukadya umvera kuti na jansemi. Ero bonse bili hapa. Tinali machabe stick kama fertilizer. Yonse itebo vakudya bili pana stick fertilizer. Timasebenzesa manure haya. Ni bokash manure.
Ya, ndiye manure haya nemasi.
Ya mene tusebenzesa.
Okay.
Machoka ku vinyama vatu vang'ombe, mbuzi na nkuku ni manyo amechika mvakudya vatu vonse bili hapa.
Okay. Ni mau bwanji amene ungamuzeko balimi banzanu na mazambians chifukwa chakuti bena mazambians simafuna kuti vakazidya hivi va tradition vakudya bafuna kutamangira kwendogula ma junk food na makamba kija ni mau bwanji amene mungabauze
ngabauze banzanga bonse balimi ba Zambia muno tenchibwerere kuli vakudya vatu vakudala vakudya vatu vakudala bilibe matenda kudala waona pamene nafika pano ndine mukulu but sina kumanepo na cancer sina kumaneko na diabetes sina kumaneko matenda yenangu mulandu nambira kudya vakudya kubwera ongena muchalo chanu wafana nambo ongena mvakudya vamesi bili bwino so vakudya vatu bonse hivi ni vabwino kumuntu bili